Welcome back. California Governor Gavin Newsom, he's making some bold claims about Joe Biden.
I would argue of our former president, who I think was one of the most successful presidents in the last century, and that is Joe Biden. And I will defend that till my grave. The fact that he had a worker-centered industrial policy and the fact that those are the right policies for this country.
They're all getting undone, right? I mean, everything.
A lot of them.
If by success you mean setting a record for releasing the most criminals back on the streets, then yeah, Joe's the winner. 96% of Biden's clemencies were granted during his final month in office. Nearly 2,500 commutations were granted on January 17th alone at something like 4 in the morning. What's more than any president granted over their entire presidency. Now, among those commutations was 31-year-old Kyrie Holbert. Biden commuted his 20-year sentence for cocaine and firearm possession. Now, Holbert has been charged in Omaha, Nebraska, with a shooting. One man was hurt. His fingerprints were reportedly found on the weapon. It's the same gun tied to 2 other violent crimes, including a homicide in June. Now, as House Republicans urge the DOJ to probe Biden's auto pen use, it begs the question, who approved Holbert's commutation? According to leaked emails allegedly between Biden's top staffers, Biden didn't review some of these clemency decisions. His secretary writes, "I'm going to need email from the deputy assistant confirming Biden signed off on the specific documents when they are ready." The deputy assistant responded, "Michael, thoughts on how to handle this? He doesn't review the warrants." Joe Biden doesn't review the warrants. And sources told Axios it was a mad dash to find groups of people that he could then pardon. And then they didn't largely run it by the Justice Department to vet those commutations. Omaha Police Association President Patrick Dempsey joins me now. Mr. President, thanks for being with us here today. Let's talk about Kyrie Holbert for just a moment. So he's a suspect in a shooting. The gun used in that shooting is tied back to several other shootings, including a homicide. Now, this was a man let out early by Joe Biden. Now, should this man have been back on the streets?
Thanks for having me. Yes, Kyrie Holbert was no stranger to our criminal justice system, had been arrested 3 prior times for possession of firearms, spent 3 years in prison here in the state of Nebraska, and then in 2017 was part of a 10-count indictment where he was indicted for felon possession of a firearm, distribution of narcotics, and possession of a firearm during that distribution. It was in 2017 that he was sentenced to 240 months in federal prison. And shortly there, 7 years shortly after, President Biden commuted his sentence.
And I keep asking myself why. He's not the only. Obviously, there was 2,500 commutations just in the final days of his administration, and they included some very, very bad figures. Leonard Peltier is convicted of murdering 2 FBI agents back in the 70s. Adrian Peeler, he's conspiracy in 1999 murders of a mother and 8-year-old son. These are just some of the people let go. That also includes Kyrie Holbert. Now, what I understand, the reason as to why, at least in Holbert's case, is he was trying to let guys go that had sentencing disparities between crack and cocaine, but also at the same time didn't talk to victims' families, apparently didn't review the warrants, didn't look into these individual cases. And in your case, as you said, Holbert was a known gang figure to a violent gang, and he is one of the thousands here. The Joe Biden, for whatever reason, if it was Joe Biden, if it wasn't the auto pen and someone else making the decision, decides to put back on your streets, what does that make you think?
Yeah, it doesn't sit well. You know, this is a very violent individual. This isn't someone who was in for a minor possession charge or a minor PWID charge. This was someone who had been arrested on multiple occasions for very violent things like possession of a firearm. You know, after getting 240 months in prison, spending only 7 years, he's put back on our streets where he's involved in a shooting in a downtown, very crowded place full of bars and businesses, innocent patrons on the street. And here he is out 7 years later shooting someone in our downtown district.
Incredible, incredible. And sadly, I think probably just one of hundreds of stories, if not thousands of stories, we may hear in the coming years about people that were let go at the last minute by the auto pen. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.